This week's episode is part 2 of a 3-part series where we'll be touring 3 uniquely built tiny homes nestled in the backcountry of Kelowna BC. Today I'll be walking through what's known as the Woodside, a 384 square foot tiny home perfect for the modern minimalist. This home is one of 5 homes located on a small acreage overlooking views of the mountains, open fields, and the West Kettle River. So, the first thing you're going to notice, and it's pretty obvious when you step into the space, is that it's unfinished in here, and we're missing things like appliances and furniture, but that's to come. What I really like about this floor plan is they've separated the 2 halves of the home into 2 very distinct places. On this side of the home, we have room for the kitchen and the living area, and the back end of the home is designed specifically for the sleeping area. Now, as I just mentioned, right from the get-go, entering from the side door here, you're gonna find yourself in the kitchen and living space. Some of the most striking features as soon as you walk into this home are the trim wood pieces around the windows and the doors and the baseboards, which is actually reclaimed from a 100-year-old barn. So that's kind of cool. And of course, one of my favorite parts is going to be this sliding door that leads directly onto your patio so you can enjoy the view of the surrounding nature. Now, once this home is finished, this kitchen really comes with everything you need and not a single thing more. Obviously, over to my left, that's going to be your spot for a refrigerator. To the right-hand side of the sink behind me here, that's going to be a spot for a dishwasher. And off to my right-hand side, just over the overhead fan, is of course going to be an oven and stovetop. So there isn't much to talk about in terms of appliances, but let's talk about the storage space in this kitchen. On either side of where the oven is going to fit, you have 3 drawers that are going to be perfect for all of your cooking and eating utensils. Under the sink, you'll find exactly what you would expect to find, which is that under sink storage. And then further to my right, next to where the dishwasher will be installed, they have this little cubby here, which works great for baking sheets or baking pans. Now for upper storage in this home, it's actually fairly impressive what they've done here. So above the countertop, you have exposed shelving, and I really like that they put the exposed shelving in the space, because if you put wall-mounted cabinets, oftentimes that'll start to make a small space feel smaller. So having the open shelving designed like this just keeps the space nice and open. Now above where the fridge is going to sit, you have a little bit of cabinet space up there, but what really takes the cake in this area is the overhead storage located above the kitchen area here. As you can see, it's quite high. One idea I had to make this storage space a little bit more functional, and I don't know if you can do this, but if you could install one of those old library ladders, the ones on like a rail and the wheels on the bottom so you can roll it back and forth and climb up and grab what you need, I think that would be a really cool design aspect in this home. I don't know if that's a possibility here or if you could have that installed, but I think it would make it really cool. I find there's lots of room in here for prep space on either side of the sink and a little bit over here off to my right-hand side for maybe a coffee maker. Now turning around, this area is going to make up your living space. So as you can see here, you do still have enough room to be putting a couch maybe off to this side and leaving this area open for access to the loft. My absolute favorite part about this kitchen is going to be the fact that you can walk out onto your deck, but they didn't stop with that. You also have a really large window above the sliding glass doors. Once again, this makes the space feel much bigger than it is, and it gives you the ability to have indoor-outdoor living space, especially with that front deck. Now, I'm sure throughout the course of this video so far, you've all noticed this nice big ladder, and of course, that's going to lead us up to our first sleeping space, which is the loft. Now, similar to most lofts that I've seen, this is not an area you're going to be standing in, but it is a very comfortable area. As you can see, I can sit up right here, and I'm only about in the middle of this loft space. And as you get further to my left-hand side, the ceiling height actually increases. So you have more space on that side. You get a nice view down to the rest of the home, and there's plenty of space to fit maybe 3 or 4 people. All right, now that we're done with the front portion of the home here, let's make our way to the back. Now, as we make our way down the rest of the home, we end up in this little hallway here. And what I like about what they've done is they've included this nice big window, which keeps an otherwise dark hallway nice and bright and open. And then off to my right-hand side is the bathroom. Now, once again, given the size of the home, it's really impressive what they've been able to fit in this space. Off to my left-hand side, you have a residential flush toilet, but you also have plenty of room around that toilet, so you can easily move and get up comfortably. To my right here, you have your vanity, a nice mirror, some lighting above it, and that traditional storage you would find underneath the sink. And then further to my right, the appliance isn't installed yet, but it's built for a 2-in-1 washer and dryer combo unit. Once again, sometimes in a smaller house like this, if you don't have enough room to dedicate for stacking laundry, this is the perfect alternative. And then right off behind me to my left is a really large step-in fiberglass shower. tall enough for me, and plenty wide enough to be able to get in and out very comfortably. Like I said, all of this packed into one space, that's pretty impressive. Now, before we get into the master bedroom, one thing I want to highlight is that they've included some hooks above here, a shelf, and a spot to store your shoes. So it might not be right at the entrance of the home, but you still have an area to store shoes, to put coats, and things like that once you get inside. Because you have 10-foot ceilings, even back here in the master bedroom, you get such a grand entrance as soon as you walk in. This room has plenty of space for either a king or a queen size bed. Of course, one of the best parts in my opinion is all of the lighting you get in here through the windows they've installed. And there are a few really cool features that are actually located to my left-hand side here. Now, this is something they didn't have to include, but I like that they did. And this is a little desk area. Seeing as how there's not really any other space in the house you can put this, I'm glad they installed it in here, because if you're someone like me, you often need a space to set up your computer and different things like that. Something else you might notice in this room are these little doors up to my right-hand side up here. And what's behind these doors is actually the hot water tank. Now, the beauty of this location is this is really high up and out of the way. So it wouldn't be very common to utilize this space unless you were storing things away that you would just never be using to begin with. So this is a great place to store it. It's tucked up and out of the way, but it's easy enough to get to in case there's any maintenance to be done on it. And of course, you can't have a master bedroom without having a master closet. In here, you'll find plenty of space to hang all of your clothing and also store folded clothing off to one side. One design feature I really love about this space is actually located above the closet, and that's extra storage area. Now, the shelving up there is at the same height of that hot water tank, so it's definitely for items that you want to stow up and out of the way and aren't using very often. Now, you've heard me mention a couple times about how small this space is, but something that increases the livability of the space is actually located under my feet. And that's because this home was built with a basement. Let's go check that out. Welcome to the basement. So this area might not be accessible from the rest of the house. You do have to go outside, go down the stairs, and enter from the exterior of the home. But it's a great addition to this house. Now, this area is left unfinished at the moment, but this space that we're standing in here would likely be some sort of rec room. You've got a little storage nook off to my left here. Right in front of me here, you have the home's mechanical room, and then right in the area you guys are in is likely where I would have the rec room. In here, you could probably put a TV on the wall, stick a couch or a mini fridge somewhere in this space as well. One more advantage of this basement is actually that it has another bedroom in the back here. So the bedroom itself is nothing fancy, but you've got lots of room in here to put like a wardrobe against the wall for storage. You've got room in here to put a queen or a king size bed. You've got a nice big window behind me here, bringing in some light. But having this addition down here makes a huge impact, especially if you're having friends or family come over and you need a place to store people. That sounds weird. You know what I mean. As always, if you're looking for more information on this home or any other homes that I have on my channel, all the information you're gonna need is in the description. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next Monday for part 3 of our final part in this series. See you then.